And hopefully next year I can make a video called I Made Unus Annus Proud. I really hope I could do that, because I really don't want to make I Failed Unus Annus again.
Well, about that. Look, I know what you're thinking. I suck, and you would be correct. Last year I made a video talking about my yearly goals and all my plans, and I was going to be super productive. Guess what? I wasn't. So let's just go through all the goals, see the ones that I achieved, that weren't many, why I failed to achieve the goals, my new goals for 2023, and the new strategies I'm going to implement this year to actually achieve my goals and not be a complete disaster. So 2022 yearly goals. Number 1, make 3 games, 1 game every 3 months. Okay, so this one wasn't a super bad goal, but I had pretty much zero strategy to tackle this goal. But still, not a super bad goal. I was actually making good time. Late night mob took me roughly 3 months to make. The thing was, the editing part took me like 6 months to get done. And not because it was like a super hard video to edit, mostly because life happened in the way that I wasn't really expecting. I was gonna talk about the why later, but I guess I'm shoving this in here. Firstly, when I made that Unus Annus video, I had a 2-month-old baby. A 2-month-old baby sleeps like 90% of the day. Not so much a 6-month-old, and not even remotely close to a 1-year-old. So when I made those plans, I somehow forgot that the baby was gonna grow older. So the whole year was basically just us constantly adapting to the change in his schedule. So that was one of the things. The other thing, well, I don't want to go into a lot of detail on this because it's quite personal, but imagine a cloud, a stormy cloud. Now imagine that it is covering the entire sky. That was my problem. And it was something that was exceptionally hard to deal with. And it threw me into an uncontrollable spiraling depression. It took me a long time to be able to deal with this. And technically, it's still here. The problem still exists. I basically had to learn how to shrink it down into a small little stormy cloud so that it wouldn't completely destroy my life. But I was in a terrible shape for months. And no, I'm not dying. I mean, we're all dying, but I'm not like sick dying, okay? It's fine. So those two were a big chunk of why I didn't achieve my goals. But there were also other reasons, like poor time management, procrastination, a general lack of wanting to do things. So yeah, instead of 3 games, I made just 1. So that's a fail. But hey, at least it's better than no game at all, right? Right? Create a video editing course. Well, I read the comments and a lot of people were excited for this one. Yeah, it didn't happen and it will not happen. I'm sorry. There are reasons though, too, to be more specific. I have reasons. Number 1, there are so many video editing courses out there, both on YouTube and Udemy. And honestly, I don't feel like I have anything to add. Maybe like 1 or 2 things, but honestly, like 95% of the things that I would teach you, you can find them easily on YouTube. And number 2, I didn't feel like it. I know it's a lame excuse, but with everything happening, a video editing course was not even close to being a priority. So there are your reasons. 1 stream per week. Oh my God. 1 stream per week. And this year I was very inconsistent with it, and I apologize for that. Again, that same stupid cloud over there. The thing is, streaming is not really an obligation to me, and I really don't want to put that kind of pressure on it. So if I was feeling like super down or depressed, I just wouldn't stream at all. Make multiple videos for every game that I make. I technically achieved this one. So, you know, scratch that goal. Put a check mark. Do both! Because even though I only made the late night mop, I did make 3 videos about it. A devlog and 2 reaction videos. Now granted, there was only supposed to be 1 reaction video, but after Mark's reaction to it, I had to make that its own video. Plus, killer title. Make 1 lo-fi album. Okay, a lot of people were really excited for this one, and I don't know why. I haven't made that much music for people to be this excited for that lo-fi album. I could be a horrible lo-fi producer, you don't know. Regardless, I didn't even make 1 song this year. Okay, scratch that. I made 1 song this year. It was not a good song and it had exactly 0 effort put into it, but it was a song. And yet, ironically, there were so many comments asking for a full version of that song, but I'm gonna assume you guys were joking. You were joking, right? So for my active goals of 5, I have achieved 1. So that's terrible. Then there were the passive goals, which, spoiler alert, I will not be doing passive goals this year, but we'll get to that in a moment. The passive goals were reach 1.5 million subscribers on YouTube. Nope. Reach 350,000 followers on Twitter. Nope. Reach 5,000 followers on Spotify. Actually, yes. Almost at 10k at the moment, so I'm actually pretty happy with that one. Now, am I upset that I only reached 2 million subscribers instead of 1.5? Absolutely not. I'm super happy with how things are coming along, and I feel like the output was fair to the amount of input. If I had made more videos, maybe I would have gotten more subscribers and more followers. So I think for the amount of effort that I put onto the channel and my socials, I feel like it was fair. Plus, these passive goals would technically only worked if I achieved my active goals. That was like the whole thing. But active and passive goals is not enough. It doesn't work, at least to me. To me, it didn't work, clearly. So this year, we're gonna do none of that! I'm changing my strategy this year. Instead of active goals and passive goals, I'm going to have goals and systems. I'll explain what all that means, but let's start with the goals. My goals are: make 2 games. I'm lowering this because I know that the games that I want to work on are slightly larger scope than the games that I was previously doing. And I'm giving myself a time frame of 6 months to work on each game, and that not only includes making the game, but also making videos about the game. Another spoiler, there won't be a make one lo-fi album goal this year, because one thing I want to start doing is making the music for my own games. I did the music for Shield Blast, Do It For Me, The Worst Ash Clicker, and hopefully by making music for my games, I can then release that music as albums. So it might not be the lo-fi dream album everyone was expecting, but you know, I can squeeze a lo-fi beat in a game. I can do that. And the other goal is make multiple videos for every game. I think this one worked really nicely, and again, it allowed me to release multiple pieces of content with just one game. I need content, and those are all the goals for this year. Now, I do have one extra optional goal, which is create a game dev course. Now, the reason I'm thinking about this is because I've watched a lot of game dev courses in the last few years, and even today, I feel like sometimes the teacher, whoever they are, tends to sometimes not explain things in a proper manner. Now, please do not get me wrong. There are some really good game dev teachers out there, and I'm not gonna stand here and pretend I'm better than them or that I would teach better than them, but every time I'm watching a course, there's always something that makes me go, I think I would have explained that in a different way. And for those curious, it would be a Unity course, not an Unreal Engine course. I don't have nearly enough experience to teach Unreal, but I've been using Unity for like 4 years now. And again, this is just speculation. I'm still thinking about it. That's why it's an optional goal. But those are my yearly goals. I know, very underwhelming, especially compared to last year, but I'd rather have less goals and really focus on them than have a billion goals and not be able to achieve anything, which was exactly what I did. Now, the systems, this is the really important thing. And I feel like this was a big problem for me last year because, yes, I did have the goals, but I didn't have a clear plan on how to achieve those goals. In fact, a lot of you called me out on this on that video, and I didn't listen because, you know, I'm just really dumb. But you were right. More than just goals, you need systems to work towards those goals. And they are: work at least 30 minutes every day on my current goal, which means that every day I need a 30-minute block of time to either work on my games or a particular video or making music or writing a script, whatever it is. I need to do it every day to make forward progress towards my goal. Now, I know what you're asking. Why just 30 minutes a day? Why not an hour? Why not 2? How the hell do you think you're going to make a game by just working on it 30 minutes a day? Those are all good questions, and you're very clever for asking them. So let me explain. Number 1, I have a full-time job, a girlfriend, a baby, and stupid adult responsibilities, so I don't have an infinite amount of time each day. And to explain number 2, I heard a quote. I don't remember exactly how it goes or who said it, but it was something along the lines of, small, seemingly insignificant steps taken each day lead to extraordinary results in the long run. That's totally butchered, but you get the idea. Self-help guru words like that have colossal results in the long run. But turns out, this is actually true, and it works because I've actually been testing this. One thing I wanted to do is read more, but I always struggle to find time, and I always try too hard. I would try to read too much in a short amount of time, and if I didn't get that time, I wouldn't read at all. So instead of doing that, I decided to make a goal of reading 2 pages a day. Just 2, not 10, not a chapter, not an entire book. just 2 pages. And unsurprisingly, in 2 months, I read an entire book. And to some of you, that might not sound too impressive, but to me, it was way more than last year, which was 0. By making the goal super small, it would ensure that I would at least do the bare minimum. Because it takes what, like 2 to 5 minutes to read 2 pages? So I wasn't making this huge time commitment by reading just those 2 pages, which made it easier to achieve that goal in the long run. And that is also exactly what I've been doing with my own games. Sometimes I work just 30 minutes, sometimes an hour. The point is that it has to be done every day, and 30 minutes is the minimum. So that's why the goal is a minimum of 30 minutes a day. And believe it or not, this is the only system I have, and honestly the only one that I need, at least for my professional goals. I have other systems for my personal goals, like the reading 2 pages a day and a few others, but for my professional goals, this is it. It's a very short list compared to last year. Not very exciting, I know, but I think that's why I'm going to achieve it. Now, one thing you might have noticed is that there are not any numbered goals on this list. You know, subscribers, followers, things like that. Not because I don't think they're important or that maybe you shouldn't have them as goals, but like I said last year, this is stuff that is completely out of my control. And this year showed me that if I put in the work, the rest will fall into place. So that is it for this year. I know that if Unus and Annus could see me from the great beyond, they would be so disappointed. Or maybe not. Or maybe they wouldn't care. They probably wouldn't care. But I care, and I care about your goals. If you achieved your goal last year, congratulations. I hope you're proud of yourself. I'm proud of you. If you didn't, it's fine. Join my boat. We have a whole year to make up for it. Hopefully my strategy can be useful to some of you, especially if you struggle to make time to work on your projects. One thing I didn't mention is blocking out a specific hour to work on your projects. I know the next couple months are going to be really rocky for me, so I will do that in the future. But think about that. Think about a specific hour that you can do that and plan them in a way that works for you. If goals and systems work, great, use that. If passive and active goals work for you, great, use that. Or, you know, just whatever other technique that exists. I'm sure there's plenty. It was very fun and encouraging seeing you guys sharing your goals last year and seeing just how different and interesting everyone's goals are. So let me know in the comments your yearly Unus Annus goals. So this was the second Unus Annus death anniversary. More than just my goals, this is a day to remember and celebrate the absolute epicness that was Unus Annus. Thank you, Mark, Ethan, and Amy for such a memorable year. Did you know they won a Streamy Award? Yeah. Even that, they still won. Absolute legends. Anyways, I refuse to have another video with this title, so I'll do my best to make sure that next year I have the I made Unus Annus proud video that I wanted. So thank you so much for watching, and good luck on your goals. Take care.